The girls had soon realized that the two new boys in their class were not really boys at all. Their disguise had fooled Mr. Peter and the other children, but Kirsty and Rachel were very good at recognizing goblins. "We should find the goblins and see what they are doing," Rachel whispered. Kirsty nodded. Mr. Peter wasn't watching them. He was too busy trying to open Adam's boat. The girls made their way towards the back of the library, where the lights were dim and the least borrowed books were kept. Not many students looked in this section, but now the girls could hear loud screeching voices. They looked at each other. "Goblins," they said. Together, they peered around a tall bookshelf and saw the goblins sitting cross-legged on the floor. Each of them was holding a book and reading aloud. They didn't seem to care that the other one wasn't listening. Once upon a time there was a grumpy troll who liked to eat princes and princesses, with the first goblin in a loud voice. But there weren't enough princes and princesses to fill him up, so he decided to go on a trip with his best friend, a handsome goblin. Millie, Tilly, and Jilly were sisters, with the second goblin in an equally loud voice. They were human beings, and so of course they were annoying and ugly. One day a happy little goblin was stealing some apples when the silly sisters decided to try to stop him. "They just love the sound of their own voices, don't they?" said Rachel. "Yes," said Kirsty with a frown, "and it sounds as if those stories have been changed. They don't sound right at all." Just then they heard footsteps behind them, and they whirled around. Mr. Beetle was coming their way. When he saw the girls and heard the voices, he stopped. Rachel and Kirsty thought that he might scold the goblins, but he just smiled. "I'm glad to hear that someone in the class is enjoying their books," he said. "I don't know what's gone wrong, but reading doesn't seem to be very much fun today. Do you want us to ask them to talk more quietly?" Kirsty asked. Mr. Bitter shook his head. "It is nice to hear that they are so enthusiastic," he said. "I don't mind the noise." As he walked away, the girls exchanged a surprised glance. "I guess the main thing is that they are not causing any trouble," said Rachel. "For now. Look at that bookshelf over there," said Kirsty. She pointed to a bookshelf in the corner. One of the shelves seemed to be gleaming with a faint light, and the girls hurried towards it. "The light must be coming from one of the books on this shelf," said Rachel. "It looks just like a fairy glow." They searched through the books that were on the shelf until they found one that was shimmering with a golden light. "This must be the one," said Rachel, taking it down from the shelf. She opened it, and out fluttered Lydia, the reading fairy. Her black hair was tied in a thick side braid, and she was wearing flowery shorts with a pink sweater. "Hello, Rachel. Hello, Kirsty," said Lydia. "Queen Titania told me that you were in the library, and I thought it was a perfect moment to ask for your help." "So you still haven't found your magical gold star badge?" Kirsty asked. Lydia shook her head. "I am sure it must be around here somewhere," she said. "Will you please help me find it?" Children all over the world have stopped enjoying reading, and it is all because of those terrible goblins. "Of course we will help," said Rachel. "Lydia, the goblins are here in the library right now, and no one is watching us. Should we go ask them to give your badge back?" Lydia nodded. "I am a little afraid of Jack Frost, but I am not scared of goblins," she said. "Let's go talk to them right now." She hid in Rachel's pocket, and then the girls walked back to the tall bookshelf. what the goblins were reading. But before they got there, Krusty grabbed Rachel's arm. "Look," she whispered, "between those books." In a gap between some books on a shelf, the girls could see an icy blue robe and a mortarboard hat. Holding their breath, they tiptoed up to the shelf and peeked through the gap. Then they stared at each other in shock. They couldn't believe their eyes. Jack Frost was in their school.